Think your locks can handle the sun? Think again. UV rays can cause so much damage to both your locks and your scalp. So here are 10 powerful treatments that you can use to make sure your hair stays shiny, healthy, and sunproof before and after going outside. Hey guys, welcome back to the Dreadlock Culture channel. My name is Nadia, and in today's video, we are talking about 10 different DIY treatments that you can make with simple ingredients at home that will protect your hair before sun exposure and just in case after sun exposure, in case maybe your locks got a little sunburnt or you had some sun damage. So let's dive right in. I want to start with the treatments that are beneficial before sun exposure. We're going to be talking both about our scalp and our locks, but let's begin with the locks. For the first recipe, we're going to make a tea spritz. So you're going to need a bag of green tea. Black tea works too if you don't have green tea, but black tea is better for dark hair and it can stain clothes. So if you have green tea, this is a better choice. And you're going to need an oil. So here's grapeseed oil is a really good choice, but here's a few other alternatives in case you don't want to use this one or you don't have it. You're going to start by bringing a cup and a half of water to near boiling temperature. Put that in a cup and then put your tea in there. Steep it for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then you're going to toss the bag and pour that liquid into a spray bottle. You want to use it whenever it's kind of like at room temperature, so make sure that it's not too hot. And then you're going to add a teaspoon of your oil. Shake that up and then spray it all over your locks about 15 minutes before going into the sun. You also, if you're going to be out in the sun a lot and you don't have something else to cover it, which you should, but that's another topic, then you want to make sure that you're kind of reapplying every so often so that it just continues to provide your hair with that protective shield throughout the day. For this next recipe, we're going to need 1.5 cups of rose water. In a previous video, I showed you how to make this, so I will leave that linked in the description. And then you're going to need 20 drops of an oil. Grapeseed is a really good option, but here are some alternatives. You're going to put those two, mix them into a spray bottle, shake the spray bottle, and same thing, spray it liberally throughout your locks and then reapply as needed. For this recipe, you're going to take 1/4 cup of fresh aloe vera gel. In a previous video also, I showed you how to extract the gel straight from the leaf, so you can check that out in the description. And then you're going to take 1 cup of distilled water. Make sure you are using just distilled water. And then you're going to take 5 or 10 drops of rosemary essential oil. You're going to put that into your spray bottle and same thing, spray, 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 and apply about 15 minutes before going into the sun and reapply as needed. Similar to that recipe, if you want one that is going to be a little bit longer lasting to help seal in the moisture for a longer time, then you can do 1/4 cup of aloe vera gel, 1 cup of distilled water, and about a teaspoon of a carrier oil. Now, when it comes to your scalp, I don't know all the different kinds of sunscreens that there are out there, and I'm sure there's some really good and healthy ones, but I'm also sure that there's some that could potentially leave residue on your locks. So personally, and I'm not a doctor, so this is not medical advice by any means, but personally, I do not put sunscreen on my actual scalp. What I do is I will put in this amber bottle, I'll put a carrier oil and an essential oil, and then I'll use that around like the crown here of my scalp, right where the hair and the this line here where the hair and the skin meet. So anything beyond here can be sunscreen, that's no problem. But all the way around here, around the ear, and then just right here below like the neck where it's still partly with hair and skin, right at that limit, I'll put my carrier oil and essential oil. And definitely I'll put like a cap or something to cover. So either a bandana or a hat or something, but this is just going to add like a little extra protection, better than not having anything on there at all. So to choose the best carrier oil and essential oil combination, I made this PDF for you guys. You can download it from the link in the description. And what you're going to see for carrier oils are 2 categories. The category that is safe for using on your scalp, and then the other ones that are not recommended for your scalp. The ones that are for your scalp are called non-comedogenic oils, and that just means that the oil is not likely to clog your pores. Personally, I recommend using those on your scalp because you don't want your scalp to have any side effects or maybe scalp acne or psoriasis or any of that extra stuff that could potentially happen if your pores are clogged. So by all means, take this resource for yourself, download it, and then you can decide what oil combos you want to do for your own products. Now, we all make mistakes, and it is possible that at some point we're going to spend more time in the sun than we really should, and maybe our hair is going to be overly exposed or our skin. So how do we repair possible sun damage both in our locks and on our scalp? Here are a few recipes for that. Let's start again with our locks. One of the options to repair sun damaged hair is to use hydrosols. Hydrosols are floral water, and they're made by a process of distillation, but they're not as strong as essential oils. So they're kind of just like a gentler alternative, and they don't need to be diluted like essential oils. So I will leave here a list of the different types of hydrosols that you can use for sun damage or to repair hair that has been damaged by the sun. Another thing that you can do is an apple cider vinegar rinse. So apple cider vinegar is going to help seal the hair cuticle back and prevent frizziness, and the sun is going to open up the cuticle. The apple cider vinegar is going to help bring it back and seal it up again. So you want to do this treatment when your hair is damp. Preferably, it would work really well after you've washed your locks, so on your weekly wash. You're going to take 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, mix it with 1 cup of water, and put about 10 or 15 drops of lavender essential oil. So when your hair is damp, then you want to take it, shake your spray bottle, and then spray it all over your locks, specifically the areas where you feel maybe have gotten the most damage, or the ends, because typically our ends are going to see more damage over time. Then you're going to let that sit on your hair for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then you can just rinse it off. Now, if you've experienced a sunburn on your scalp, or even just you have a very dry scalp because of the sun, then here's a treatment that you can apply directly to your scalp area. You're going to take half a cup of witch hazel. This is the one that I like to use, and it doesn't leave any residue on your hair. And then half a cup of aloe vera gel. You're going to mix these two together, as well as 10 drops of lavender essential oil and 1 teaspoon of jojoba oil. You can either mix them in a spray bottle that looks like this, or you can put them in a bottle with this kind of pico. I don't know the word in English, but anyway, you can put, I like this little thing because it helps me to just target my scalp when I'm spraying it and it doesn't get everywhere. But I guess you can achieve the same result with this one. It's just a little bit wider spray. Regardless, you're going to spray your scalp with it, massage it in if you want, or just kind of dab it in to get the liquid to absorb into your scalp a little bit, and let it air dry. If your scalp got very sunburnt, then here's a treatment that you can do that's going to help not just to heal your skin, but also cool it down. You're going to take a cucumber. Personally, I would peel it, and then you're going to put it through a juicer. If you don't have a juicer, you can put it in a blender and then take a cheesecloth and just make sure that you only take the juice. You don't want to use the rest of it. So once you have your juice, you're going to bring that to a stainless steel pot and boil it. Once it's boiled, there's going to be like a little bit of a froth. Remove the froth and then put the liquid into the fridge and just save it or preserve it in the fridge. Whenever you have any scalp issues, then you're going to take 1 teaspoon of that liquid and 2 teaspoons of water. Mix those two together in a little bowl or even a spray bottle like this. And you're going to put it on your scalp directly, massage it very well in there, and then let that air dry as well. For those who have very burnt skin, you can do this up to 2 times a day. And if you wanted to just really seal in that moisture, you could add maybe a little bit of jojoba oil afterwards. Just massage in the jojoba oil to help the moisture stay in longer. but I wouldn't be putting jojoba oil on the scalp 2 times a day. I think that's a little much. So just the cucumber juice is going to be perfect. And last but not least, this treatment is also going to be really great for your scalp, but it does involve a few more steps and a few more ingredients. What you're going to need is 1 tablespoon of dried lavender flowers, 1 tablespoon of chamomile, 1 tablespoon of mullein, and 1 tablespoon of calendula. So just like a tea, you're going to bring the water to a pre-boiling point right before boiling. Then you're going to put all of these herbs into a cup and pour that water over it, about 1 cup of water. You can put a lid on it or a plate or whatever, and just let it come back down to room temperature. So it's going to be about 15 minutes that you're going to let those herbs seep into the water. And then you're going to strain it with a fine mesh strainer. To that, you're going to add half a cup of aloe vera gel and 1 teaspoon of jojoba oil. And then you're going to shake that all up or mix it all together, however, and you can also put it in a spray bottle like this and then just apply it, or like this, and you're going to just apply that to your scalp. If you'd like to massage it or just kind of dab it in there to make sure that it absorbs, and then you're going to let that air dry as well. Well, friends, that concludes today's video. If you want to save any of these recipes for future reference, I will actually have a PDF with all the step-by-step on how to make each of these in the description. And yeah, you can download that and use it whenever needed. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up. If you want to see more lock content in the future and more recipes, then subscribe and hit the notification bell to know whenever I post another video. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And yeah, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the week. I will see you very soon. And until then, keep rocking your locks. Bye.